Good morning, John Lewis Elementary students. This is Miss Z, a school counselor, a counselor for grades pre-K to second. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys. I have been missing you a lot. And I do want to talk to you guys about just a few things to remind you about this current situation that we are in with the coronavirus. Nothing to worry about, nothing too serious. Just, some things to keep in mind because you will see some changes around school. And so I want to give you a little heads up on that. So I do want to introduce some of the safety things that we will be doing around school. And then Mr. Cudmore, who is another counselor and a colleague of mine, very good friend as well, will talk to you guys about certain coping skills and things that we can do to help us cope with the, just some worries and things that you might be dealing with at a time. So today, so we are going to talk about Magic 6. It's something that we call Magic 6. I've heard from a friend of mine who is also a counselor at another school. And I thought it was kind of cool, so I wanted to introduce it to you guys as well. So what is Magic 6? So there are basically 6 things that we are going to do to keep ourselves safe, okay? Number 1, which actually isn't a new thing, stay at home when you feel sick. That's something we have been doing, right? Last year, and ever since you were little, you were asked to stay home if you're feeling sick or your tummy is upset, and that's the same goes for teachers. If the teacher is not feeling well and they are ill, they will of course stay home. Number 2 is to use your elbow when you sneeze or cough. I call these a sneeze catcher. So if you're about to sneeze or cough, you're going to use your elbow to sneeze in, unless you're wearing a face mask. If your hands touch things that others have touched, you should use soap and water to wash them off. Keep a distance when you from others when you go outside or travel from place to place. Keep your hands away from your face because you don't want your germs that you have that you could have on your hands touching your mouth and your eyes. And wear a mask. So sometimes you will see that all your teachers or everybody who works in this building is wearing masks during the day. I wear 2. Sometimes 1, but most of the times I wear 2. This is the one that I wear, and I put it in the garbage at the end of the day. And then I have this one that I put on top of the first one, and I wash this one when I get home. Okay. So let's talk about what is coronavirus. So coronavirus is a virus like any other, more or less, like flu virus, cold. That's basically what it is. And it's new. It's a new virus that we have not experienced before. So we are still learning a lot about this new virus, like doctors and nurses and scientists are still learning about it. And every day there's some new information that they're sharing with us. But right now they're working on getting like vaccines, similar like a vaccine that you would take for flu and stuff like that. Okay. So how do people get coronavirus? Coronavirus spreads very quickly, just like flu. It's very contagious, and it normally people normally get it by spreading germs through germs. So, for example, if you're sitting across from the table from somebody and you sneeze, all your germs are going to get to the next person who is sitting across from you. So that is why it's really important to use your elbow when you are sneezing or coughing, or to wear a mask. So let's talk about what happens if I get coronavirus. While I cannot predict what will happen to each one of you if you end up catching a coronavirus, I cannot predict that because simply because some people get little sick, some people get really sick and they have to go to the doctor, some people have to go to the hospital. I cannot predict what will happen to some of you, but what I do and what I really would like to ask you guys that we do as a community and as a school, that we try to help each other and we try to stop from getting sick and stop from. That's why the six things that we talked about in the beginning of the presentation are important. Okay, so those are the things that we can do to stop getting coronavirus. Okay. Now, when you come back to school, and now that you are back, some of you, you will see that things are kind of different around the school. We have all these signs that point to one direction, the other direction. You see your teachers wearing masks. Some are wearing face shields. So everything is kind of different. You are asked to wear masks. So you're probably at this point asking yourself, oh my goodness, will my days ever go back to how they were? In other words, am I ever going to be able to hug my friends? Am I ever going to be able to have a sleepover? Am I ever going to be able to go on a soccer match? And, all sorts of things that I have not been able to do since the pandemic started. Well, the short answer is we hope so. And that's why we are working on, and doctors and scientists are working on making sure that there is a medicine for the virus, and they're encouraging people to take a vaccine and all sorts of things, just like you would take a vaccine for flu. But we are also trying to work together as a community and as a school to stop spreading coronavirus by staying 6 feet apart from each other, by wearing masks, by washing our hands, by not touching our face, and staying home when we are sick. Okay. If you have any questions so far about everything that Ms. Z has said, please write it down. You're welcome to ask us, to ask your parents or any adults who live with you, your aunts and uncles, your counselors, your teachers. We will be happy to answer it. Write them down. The second part of this presentation, now that I have introduced today's topic, and talked to you guys a little bit about changes that you will be seeing around school when you are back, when you are here, and things that we are doing and why we are taking all these healthy precautions and measures. I'm going to let Mr. Cudmore, who is a counselor for grades 3rd, 4th, and 5th, talk to you guys about worry and some coping skills, some things that you can do to help you deal with worry and things that might be worrying you right now, some thoughts and emotions that you might be having. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Cudmore.